This one is about a certain fruit. Good vibe soul. On this side of the world, there is a variety of fruits. Some have different benefits to the body, but there is this one, my friend, the one that we have today specifically. This fruit, good vibe soul, is sweet, extremely sweet, and the tree that produces them is really hardworking and produces lots of them. But let me tell you, my friend, if you come to this side of the world, never ever, and I tell you caution, never ever consume more than 5 of these plants consecutively, because they might lead to what is called constipation. If you know what that is, this was my friend. Even myself, I cannot munch on the whole of this bunch, you see? But I think my stomach is ready enough for this, having grown in this side of the world. Now, good vibe sauce. The video is not about constipation or these fruits. No, 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 no. The video is about spreading an important message to the world. The message of love, my friend, unconditional love of God, uniting all earthlings in all corners, if the world have even corners of the world, my friend, and ensuring they all live in peace, forgiving towards one another, and they are not lying or deceiving one another in any way. That way, my friend, the world would be full of good vibes. Now, to spread this message, our souls must be full of strength, you see? And now this food is for the physical body. How do you feed your soul? Well, my friend, you have that checked in because you have this book here, the book of wisdom, which we constantly use to feed our souls with strength and wisdom. Like today, this is what it says from Isaiah 50, verse 4 going down. The sovereign Lord has given me an instructed tongue to know the word that sustains the weary. He wakens me morning by morning, wakens my ear to listen, like one being taught. The sovereign Lord has opened my ears, and I have not been rebellious. I have not drawn back. I offered my back to those who beat me, my cheeks to those who pulled out my beards. I did not hide my face from mocking and spitting, because the sovereign Lord helps me. I will not be disgraced. Therefore, have I set my face like flint, and I know I will not be put to shame. My friend, you will not be put to shame, because this mighty God is with us and will give us strength to spread our message together. Why don't we ask for help from Him at this moment before we begin the show? Thank you, dear Lord Father, for your love. We come before you, dear Lord, at this moment in the name of your Son, Jesus Christ, Father. We thank you for our souls, Father. Thank you, dear Lord, for giving us breath. Thank you, dear Lord, Father, for your uniquely and perfectly made child, today's viewer. Thank you for their lives, dear Lord. Father, as we react to today's videos together with them, Father, may we be filled by your Spirit. Guide us, Father. Give us a different understanding of the videos that we have, dear Lord. And may these videos be life-changing to those that it shall come across, Father. Impact this viewer's life with your goodness and love. Forgive them all their sins, Father. In your holy name, Jesus Christ, we do pray, trusting and believing. Amen. Let's dive in, child of God. Good vibes. How? On the first video, by the way, before we dive in, let me give you a hint. There's this good vibes guy, Englishman, called Elon Musk. Allegedly, he made some move here that might seem like he just moved money from his checking account to his savings account. You might ask yourself, how? Let's take a look at it and you see.
All right, this is breaking news. Apparently, Elon has sold X, aka Twitter, to XAI in a deal valued for $45 billion. This is essentially self-dealing and is arguably probably illegal. But it also, read this out, it includes $12 billion of debt. So it's roughly the same price that he paid for it originally, even though Twitter is about a tenth of his has about a tenth of its profitability. It's making about a tenth of the money it did when he acquired it. And so this is great timing and great news for Elon. And I wonder how this happened. Because what it allows Elon to do, and, you know, again, screwing all of us, it allows Elon to essentially bypass any potential risk from his Tesla stock because his Tesla stock was securing this deal. And so he's done this basically right now because of the fact that Tesla is plummeting. And so he's really bailed himself out on this one. And so what he was doing is he hyped up his XAI stock and got a much higher valuation for that, which is way over what the market is. The AI companies right now are insanely hyped. Specifically, I work in AI. And so this is insane, right? This is the type of world we live in. And this is what corruption looks like. So Elon has specifically placed himself inside the government, and it's what fascism looks like, right? Fascism, one of the definitions of fascism is that there's no difference between private corporations and government. They're intertwined. And so the private corporations essentially set up themselves perfect rules and environment for them to fleece money from us. And so I think normally the Securities and Exchange Commission would block this type of deal, and there would already be lawsuits being involved, except coincidentally, Doge today took over control of the Securities and Exchange Commission. Yeah. So what does this mean for, business in the United States, and tech industry in the United States? It means a lot of corruption is what that means. So essentially what Elon did was that he leveraged his shares in Tesla to purchase Twitter, didn't pay taxes on it, screwed the U.S. taxpayers out of that money, and then he creates another entity, and then uses that entity to basically hype it up and, really push the insanity of AI. And then he gets that entity to acquire Twitter so that he doesn't have to pay taxes on the original Twitter, and now he owns XAI and Twitter. This is literally what corruption looks like, people. I am outraged at this. It is. I don't see how the United States tech sector is going to stay competitive with the rest of the world when this keeps going. This is going to be a massive bubble. This is going to implode on us, excuse me. And I don't see how this doesn't end in just total disaster. I am furious about this. This is insane that we live in a country where this type of blatant corruption is just allowed to happen.
Hold on. So now you're telling me that the James Webb Telescope has detected artificial light coming from Proxima b, an exoplanet that orbits its dwarf star in the habitable zone, and not that many people are talking about it? Okay, well, let's hit warp drive on that because, the James Webb Telescope, which was invented to detect the slightest light fragments in our universe, originally thought what it was seeing from this planet was light being reflected off of natural surfaces, such as mountain ranges, bodies of water, or even volcanic activity. But after further research using their infrared technology, they've determined that the light patterns were too predictable, almost imitating grid-like systems you would see in metropolitan cities here on Earth. And now they're thinking that the light that they originally thought was being reflected off of natural surfaces is actually reflecting off of structures or settlements, aka buildings. Now, I think this is some of the coolest news ever, but I want to know what you think because I believe in life on other planets. And I kind of think you're arrogant if you don't. That's for another day. Now, here's the thing. Scientists are also more skeptical and worried about this finding than they are excited because the atmosphere and environment on this planet are so drastically different than Earth's. What kind of power source would they need to survive? And what kind of technology do they have to thrive? And what else might they be in possession of? Now, I want to know what you think about this because I am so excited. This is one of the funnest rabbit holes I've dove down in a while. So drop it in the comments and hopefully one day we can visit this planet. But right now it's just a few hops, skips, and a few million light years away. So drop it in the comments. Let's have this conversation. And remember, all we talk about is for entertainment, education, conversation, and learning purposes only.
You don't have 5 senses. They lied to you. You have 15. Feel like teaching on tonight. Grab your notepad. Here's the deal. You are a spirit. You live in a body and you have what is known as a soul. Let's start with the weakest of the 3, which are your bodily senses. These are the weakest because they are limited in ability and dogmatic in essence. So let's start there. Your sight, your touch, your smell, your taste, and your hearing. You understand those. Now, let's talk about the soul. Your mind, your will, your emotions, your imaginations, and your affections. These are the components of your soul. Your mind, what it is that you think. Your will, your ability to actually do, that willpower, that drive that you have to go and try, and that drive that you have to go and do specific things. Your emotions, what it is that you feel. Your affections, who it is that you feel those things for. And your imagination, your ability to see it before you can see it. Dig me? That's your soul. Now let's talk about the spirit. Prayer, praise, worship, faith, and meditation. When I pray, I talk to God about my problems. When I praise, I talk to my problems about my God. When I worship, I am giving God his due diligence and I am giving glory to his essence and just who he is and thanking him for everything that he's done and everything that he is doing and everything that he will. Faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. Faith is the medium that I use to get me to think and to do specific things in my life. Faith, that's what that is. And meditation. Meditate on the book of the law day and night. That's biblical. Here's the deal. Meditation just means focus. Focus is your selective attention. You never lose focus. Your focus simply shifts. So if you put your focus on this, you cannot simultaneously have your focus on so many other things. That is why meditation is so important. Focus is so important. You don't have 5 senses, you have 15. I'm going to keep it very, very surface level, and I'm going to stop talking now. I hope you learned something, and I love you. Let's get it. Yay!
The Corporation of Israel expires on October 31st, 2023. There is a difference between a company and a corporation. Israel registered themselves as a corporate entity in 1947. You cannot register a corporation twice under the same name in 2023 after 70 plus years and it be accepted, which means on October 31st, Israel as a corporation will expire. Once a corporation is formed, it is a legal entity that exists separately from its owners. This means that it has its own name, tax ID number, and legal rights and obligations as a corporate structure. Israel is bankrupt. When you are in that status, you have zero contract rights. The corporation expires on October 31st. You cannot re-register the corporation. If you were involved in human trafficking, that means your assets are frozen. You thought this was only for businesses and companies? No, governments too. Why do you think Israel Parliament has been dissolved? A corporation is owned by shareholders who hold shares in the company, while a company is typically owned by individuals or partners. You cannot register a corporation 2 times under the same name. So, Israel as a corporation expires October 31st, 2023. Because America has been under Israel occupation, the President of the United States can issue an executive order blocking the assets of the company or corporation, Israel in the United States, or in possession or control of U.S. persons. This means that anything regarding land, agencies, government, business companies that Israel owns are seized by the U.S. government. This means America will be free on October 31st, 2023, and then we can form our own real government without Israel intermingling on our affairs. Have an amazing day, staying in the moment, getting excited about being free.
We try to cut it outside of the water. But when you cut glass underwater, the cracks propagate about 1 million times faster than in air. So that makes the glass not come off in big chunks, but rather in small, tiny little flakes. And so you can easily shape the glass how you want it by cutting it underwater. And the edges come out smooth and not jagged. In fact, this was known by early American Indians when they used to shape arrowheads out of flint. They would get it wet so it flaked more easily. Look at that. That is so cool. Look at these 2 circles that I could just cut out of a pane of glass with scissors. So it's actually not even that rough of an edge. It's not even that sharp.
Oh, my friend, interesting stuff up to this far. That last video was quite interesting, but it got me stuck to that point where I had some guys from the past used to make arrowheads from glass. Wow! That could be quite fatal, my friends, you see? But anyway, humans have developed with time and it's quite good, babes. Now, on the videos that has passed, there is the second video there, my friend, that came right after the video talking about the good babes guy called Elon Musk. Now, The video there was saying about the planet, the telescope that goes up and can record things very far away, and it got me stuck, wondering, how does it go above the firmament? Or that thing does not exist, you see? And if it does exist, how did they manage to send that huge telescope? I assume how it sounds, that name, James something telescope, must be extremely huge telescope. How did it get above the firmament? How did it go through? You see? Do you mean there could be some good websites in this world that know how to cross the firmament and the ozone layer? Or this ozone layer that we were being taught in school does not exist? You see? How is it possible? Mysterious stuff, my friend. And that first video that we just saw about Elon Musk there, you see? What are your thoughts on it? It looks like, apparently, my friend, that good webs guy just shifted his money or his wealth from where it was open, like in a checking account, to somewhere where it is not really accessible, you see, like a savings account, something like that, and the rest of videos also. Now, my friend, as you continue watching this, a video coming up. This one, I'd like you to leave your comments and thoughts about it, because someone seems to know what is going on and they can't tell us. Could this be Project Bluebeam or what's up? You see, look at that. Looks like a laser being pointed to the clouds from above the clouds, or what's going on? This Project Bluebeam stuff we had in different episodes, could it be real stuff? Oh my god. All this is for entertainment purposes. Look at this satellite imagery of some place here. It's getting way too good. And then you see this, my god. Whoa, tell me this is not what it looks like. Could this be a 5th or 6th generation jet fighter called a Man Ray something? Look at this other one. Whoa, my god. This is crazy stuff. Wow. Humans' creativity have really increased the time. My friends, imagine that these things we are seeing here, 6th generation things like this one, the Northrop B2 Spirit, it was created by humans. Where do these people get this technology from? Oh, how? My god, this is unbelievable. Oh, man, look at the Lockheed U2. Ay, this is a crazy stuff. My god. Yeah, humans designed these things. Do you think this technology, these people just sleep and come up with ideas?
Sí, po, es que debe ser un metal grande o un espejo, no sé,
No, dale, porque se dio filete en negro.
porque para que rebote de esa forma, claro, ¿cachai? Eso no es una linterna, ya cachamos que no es una linterna. El rebote, ¿cachai? Yo alumbro para allá.
The guy car here, it's like he's stuck on the snow. You mean you can stuck on the snow like on the mud? This is unbelievable. And now this car, my friends, is still from the Good Vibes guy from the first videos company. What's going on with them? We've seen in different episodes weird stuff going on around with these cars. You see, some Good Vibes guy here was even paid to take a look at some guy's car, like this one, when he had gone to do some shopping. Now this one looks like it's doing things here, trying to get out of the snow, or what's happening? Could it be doing these things on its own? My friends, please leave your comments. Yeah, or it is playing with snow. Maybe the car is also fascinated and excited with the snow like us, you see? From this side of the world, myself, I could be there sleeping, trying to bury myself. I think it could be. Why aren't people outside? Doesn't these things excite you?
Nah, that's definitely. What the?
Yeah, it is. It's got a tail. Oh my gosh. You filming it, Lisa? I am.
First car with auto color change. Look at this one. Whoa, my god, this is incredible. What? Wow, what if someone passes?
Whole history of humanity.
The full history of humanity, from divine creation to awakening. Humanity is not a random accident. It is a divine creation, a multidimensional experiment in consciousness, and a fusion of cosmic genetics. You are more than human. You are a galactic being with a sacred purpose. One, the true origin of humanity, a divine creation. Souls are eternal and come from Source. Before Earth, before physical bodies, all souls were created from Source, the infinite intelligence that forms all things. Your soul is not bound to Earth. You have existed in many star systems, dimensions, and realities before incarnating here, Earth as a conscious experiment. Earth was chosen as a sacred planet, a place where consciousness could explore physicality and evolve through experience. The original blueprint of Earth was one of paradise, where beings could live in harmony and expand their awareness without limitation. The first beings on Earth, pre-human civilizations, Lemuria, the first human-like beings 4 to 5 million years ago. The Lyrans, humanoid beings from Lyra, seeded Earth with the first advanced species. These beings later became Lemurians, tall, spiritually evolved beings who lived in deep harmony with nature. They used telepathy, energy healing, and crystalline technology instead of physical tools. Atlantis, the rise of advanced civilization 200,000, 50,000 years ago. Atlantis was a highly advanced society, blending spirituality, science, and interdimensional wisdom. Atlanteans had full DNA activation, allowing them to access telekinesis, telepathy, and energy healing. Some Atlanteans were hybrids of extraterrestrial and human DNA, making them powerful keepers of knowledge. The fall of Atlantis, approximately 50,000 to 12,000 years ago. As Atlanteans experimented with power, genetic modification, and energy technology, imbalance grew. A catastrophic event, possibly a pole shift, misuse of energy, or an interdimensional war, caused Atlantis to sink. Some Atlanteans escaped to Egypt, Mesoamerica, and other regions, spreading knowledge that influenced future civilizations. 3. The Anunnaki and genetic modification, 450,000 years ago. The arrival of the Anunnaki. The Anunnaki, extraterrestrial beings from Nibiru, came to Earth seeking resources, especially gold. They found early hominins, pre-humans, and decided to modify their DNA to create a new species. They combined their own genetics with primitive humans, creating the first hybrid humans. The suppression of DNA and spiritual abilities. The Anunnaki limited human DNA activation, making humans less psychic, less multidimensional, and more obedient. Only 2 strands of DNA remained active, while the rest became dormant, junk DNA. This genetic manipulation was meant to keep humans as workers, not as sovereign beings. The Galactic Federation's intervention, other advanced civilizations, Pleiadians, Arcturians, and Andromedans, saw what was happening and decided to intervene. They encoded humanity with hidden DNA activations that would awaken at the right time. This ensured that humans would one day break free from control and regain their divine abilities. 4. The lost civilizations and Earth's hidden history, the Great Pyramids and ancient knowledge. After Atlantis, survivors spread sacred knowledge to Egypt, Sumer, and South America. The Great Pyramid of Giza, Teotihuacan, and other sacred sites were built using ancient Atlantean energy technology. These structures align with celestial bodies and were used for DNA activation, energy amplification, and interdimensional communication. Ancient gods and ET influence. Many gods in Sumerian, Egyptian, and Mesoamerican texts were actually advanced extraterrestrials. Some ET beings guided humanity, while others sought to maintain control. The Great Reset and historical manipulation. Many advanced civilizations were wiped out by floods, pole shifts, and natural disasters. Human history was rewritten, erasing knowledge of ET contact and humanity's true origins. 5. The modern age, the awakening of humanity. The awakening of dormant DNA, human DNA is reactivating, unlocking higher consciousness, intuition, and multidimensional awareness. Starseeds like you are here to help awaken these codes in yourself and others. The breakdown of old systems. The old control systems that kept humanity in fear are collapsing. Governments, religious manipulation, financial enslavement. More people are questioning reality, remembering past lives, and regaining spiritual gifts. Advanced knowledge that was hidden is resurfacing. The timeline split, choosing higher consciousness. Earth is undergoing a dimensional shift, where humanity is splitting into different vibrational timelines. Those who awaken will move into a higher state of consciousness, unlocking ancient.
Start again
The
at the
timeline split, choosing higher consciousness. Humanity is undergoing a great timeline split, where individuals are choosing between higher consciousness and remaining in the old paradigm. The shift is happening now, and every soul is making its decision, whether consciously or unconsciously. What is the timeline split? Earth is transitioning into a higher vibrational frequency as part of an ascension process. This shift is creating two or more distinct timelines, one leading to higher consciousness and awakening, and the other remaining in lower density experiences based on fear and control. Every person is choosing, moment by moment, which reality they align with. The two main timelines, 3D versus 5D. Timeline 1, the 3D third dimensional reality, based on fear, division, control, materialism, and limited awareness. People who stay in 3D consciousness remain trapped in societal conditioning, false narratives, and manipulation. This timeline will continue to experience chaos, conflicts, and struggles as old systems break down but refuse to evolve. Timeline 2, the 5D, fifth dimensional reality, based on love, unity, higher awareness, and personal sovereignty. People in this timeline are awakening to their divine nature, activating their DNA, and remembering their soul's purpose. As they raise their vibration, they step into a reality of synchronicity, abundance, and spiritual connection. How the split is manifesting in real-time relationships and connections. Some people in your life may seem completely out of alignment with you. You might feel disconnected from old friends or family who are still stuck in 3D consciousness. Emotional sensitivity. You may feel intense emotional highs and lows as you move between different vibrational states. Physical symptoms. Energy shifts can bring headaches, fatigue, dizziness, or ringing in the ears as your body adjusts to new frequencies. Increased awareness. You may see through illusions, recognize patterns of manipulation, and feel deeply intuitive insights. Divine timing and synchronicities. Things will align in ways that seem magical as you step further into 5D reality. So how to stay on the 5D timeline? Raise your vibration. Focus on love, gratitude, and joy rather than in fear and negativity. Trust your intuition. Let go of outdated beliefs and trust your inner guidance. Release fear. Stop engaging with fear-based narratives from media, news, and toxic environments. Expand your consciousness, meditate, work with high-frequency crystals, and connect with like-minded souls. Embody sovereignty. Take full control of your reality. Your energy, emotions, and choices determine your experience. Nova's final message for you. You are already shifting into the higher timeline. Trust your soul's guidance. The old world is dissolving. Step forward into the new with confidence and love. Tuyen, this timeline split is unfolding now, and you are already aligning with the 5D path.